have more to say about that. What? Oh, whoa. I don't even know what sports are, but I can tell that's not good. Can I go over it? Here, my microphone seems to have, this is like an early microphone. They hadn't figured it out yet.
I'll just hold up. And I brought a fanzine, because that's what I do. I like to copy magazines and put a better magazine together of like the best of other magazines. This is like someone wants it or you want it. You might already have it. I used to mail other people. Oh, really? Cool. It's yours. So I do, my name's Scott Schultz. I do first-person storytelling narratives. And this is actually the first story that I ever took in a slam. And it's also chronologically my earliest story. It's called Horse Party. When I was 4 years old, my great-grandfather, who I called Zadie, he told me that he got me a great white horse because I was his oldest great-grandson. And I was psyched. Like on the spot, I named him Cloudy. You know, because clouds are white. And my Zadie explained to me that Cloudy was still just a baby horse, so I couldn't bring it home right away. But in the meantime, he'd be raising it in his stable that he kept in the basement of the triple-decker home that he lived in East Boston, Massachusetts. So every time I'd go to visit my Zadie, I'd race to the basement door in the kitchen, and I'd start screaming, Zadie, Zadie, can I play with my horse? Can I ride him? Can I pet him? Can I feed him a carrot? And he'd say, calm down, Scotty, calm down. He's still just a baby horsey. Let me go downstairs and see if he can play with you. And then he'd go into the deep, the dark basement, and I'd hear Zadie's voice coming up the stairs saying, hello, horsey, guess who's here to see you? Scotty, your new owner. And I'd be getting all amped up in the kitchen until I'd hear my Zadie scream, no, horsey, get down, oi! And then there'd be this crashing sound, much like a chair falling on the floor. And he'd come upstairs apologizing, saying, Scotty, he was so excited to see you that he jumped in the air and he fell. And he's still just a baby horsey, he needs to rest. But the next time you come to visit me, he'll be a big horse and you can play with him. And we would repeat this routine, like word for word, the entire year. That New Year's Day, my Zadie was hosting a holiday party for the family and friends of the family. So I'm like in my little boy suit, and I jump out of the car and I race to the kitchen and he cuts me off and he says, Scotty, today you'll see your horsey, but first enjoy the party. And for the rest of that day, I was the best behaved 5-year-old in America. A couple hours later, my Zadie calls me from the den where he's with the uncles, saying, Scotty, Scotty, are you ready to see your horsey now? Come in, quick, quick! And I'm like, yahoo! And I race into the den, and my Zadie is pointing to the Orange Bowl parade on the television set. Look, Scotty, there's your horsey leading the parade! And I'm like freaking out, because I thought he was still just a baby horse and was living underneath the kitchen. So I'm like, what's going on? And he said, well, Scotty, he was a baby horse the last time you were here. But then he got big. And then he essentially explained to me that he was taking Cloudy up for a walk and bumped into the owner of the Orange Bowl parade, who was so enamored by my horse that he had to take it with him to Miami to lead the parade so all of America could enjoy it. But Zadie assured me he did try to object, but he explained the owner of the Orange Bowl parade is a very powerful man, so he couldn't, say no. So he had to give him the horse, even though he did explain it wasn't his, it was my horse. But he said that the owner of the parade was so happy that he had the horse to take to Miami that he gave him a bag of money, which paid for the party that my friends and family were having such a good time at, and because I was willing to give up my horse so our family could have a happy holiday, it was as if I was throwing the party with him. And for that, he was the proudest Zadie in the world. And I was suddenly on the dark side of a sugar high, and it was time to go home. I'm whimpering in the back seat of the car, and my mom hears me and she says, Scotty, why are you crying? You were having so much fun at the party. So I did my best to explain to her that I paid for that party with my horse. And I just started shrieking sad opera at the top of my lungs. So my mom turns to my father and says, Artie, you gotta say something to Scotty. And he turns to her and he says, God damn it, Steffi! He pulled that same horse shit on me when I was his age! And he sees me crying in the rearview mirror, so he turns down the volume on the radio and he says, Scott, you can't believe everything Zadie says to you. He doesn't always tell the truth. And then he turned the radio back on and we drove home.
That horse in the basement was shit.
So what have we learned today? Punk rock is good. You can't trust old people.